Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. I am your group Ironman, by the way, host Mod Sani, and I'm joined by 4 mods you will want on your team. That's mods Boko, Bruno, Elena, and Mack. How is everyone doing?
Who goes first?
The choice is yours.
Always the
The choice
question.
is yours, guy.
You're top
I'm
left, so
doing
you go
great.
ahead.
Sure, I'm doing great. A bit tired. It's been a long couple of days with Group Ironman coming up, but it's finally happening. You know, the launch has been so exciting to see. So I'm happy. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, yeah. I think we're all a little bit tired, but in good spirits. It's been a great launch, so everything is good. Bruno, how are you doing?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Yeah, it's been a long, tiring week. Yesterday especially, it was pretty damn long. I think I was in an update call for a good 9 hours straight, and I didn't really feel like going for lunch, so I didn't even bother doing that. But yeah, it was a really long day. But really happy with how it went, so it's definitely worth it.
Good. And Boko, how are you?
Just echoing everyone else, really. Started at, like 8:30 was when the game started, and the next time I checked my watch, it was like 3:30. So it was really fun. It was really cool watching everyone like pull their teams together. I'm a big fan of the anime man, so it was really cool to watch him last night as well. I stayed up a little later than I should have, I think. So there you go.
Yeah, I was going between about 4 different streams last night while I was playing my own group Ironman team. So it was very, very fun. And Mac, I'm sure you are in the same boat as everyone else, but how are you?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm doing good. Had a long few weeks, but it's nice to see it finally pay off. So, yeah, all good.
Awesome stuff. So yeah, if you didn't clock already, we will be covering more Group Ironman related questions, and I'm delighted to share that 112,000 of you were online to celebrate the release of this brand new co-op Ironman game mode, which is amazing. Like the reception has been fantastic, and it was awesome to see everyone not just as it launched, but the build up. There were so many players on the tutorial island waiting to get over to the node, which was amazing. And just to let you all know, the team is we're still all going over feedback that you've given us, and we are working out any initial bugs or issues. So please do continue to report them to either us in-game or on our social platforms. You can expect to have some initial changes out for Group Ironman next week. With that said, there was the hotfix is coming out that will affect groups with both hardcore and normal Ironman, because that shouldn't be happening. So they will be reverted to normal group status, and you'll see those changes happen when you next log in once the hotfix is out. Cool.
The hotfix
Well,
should be
Elena.
out already, by the way. Sorry, just interrupted.
There
That
you go.
hotfix was deployed just a few minutes ago.
Even better, so you won't even have to wait. Awesome. So with that out of the way, let's go through some announcements. Of course, first one's going to be !Group Ironman. It has launched. It's finally here. And if you haven't started yet, now is the time to explore Old School's all-new co-op Ironman game mode. Get ready to forge a team of Ironmen and become legends. Refresh your knowledge of this brand new, exciting game mode on our Group Ironman blog post. We also have !Leagues free. The Shattered Relics poll is now live. Go and cast your votes now. Shattered Relics is set to be the most open and versatile leagues yet. Master the new relic system, discover different powers, and tailor them to your playstyle. And you can see what all the rewards are on the poll blog with !Leagues free. And just for your heads up, we know you're eager to hear more about the plans for the Deadman Reborn finals. We're still investigating the prospect of a rerun with a particular focus on networking and infrastructure reviews. So we expect to share more definitive plans by this time next week. And the final thing is !Merch. Ironman, by the way, type !Merch to take a look at some fantastic new Ironman merch. You can celebrate the release of Group Ironman with these bad boys and show them off to all your IRL friends. You can see them all here. Thank you, Mod Light, for that very impressive script. Learning from the best, of course. We also have Mod Druid behind the scenes, working everything out, so thank you very much. And before we get into the questions and everything else, let's go through some UGC, because we've been having a look at feedback and socials, of course. So the first one from Nilki Mipples, make sure I had to say that right, is Group Ironman. Very cool taking our own asset and sort of like implementing their own in there.
That
It actually
feels
looks
like a
pretty
login
similar to-
screen.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, it
almost
looks
looks
pretty
like-
similar to our own promo material, like the art style of it. It looks like
Yeah.
what we've been putting out recently. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks
really
almost like
matches
there's
so well.
not even a frame there, kind of. You guys can see that.
Yeah, it's just really
If I'm
impressive
on
that
his
they've
team-
taken our asset and then like
It's like-
removed what was there. Just to add it. Sorry, Boko.
No, that's alright. He's clearly not pulling his weight, right? If I'm on his team, I'm like, what are you doing, man? Wasting
on.
away. Get back to this, yeah.
He's the true definition of play together alone. It's like he is that definition.
I
Cool.
would love
The
this
next
as
one
like a
is titled.
wallpaper.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you could. I'm sure there'll be a place to be download it somewhere soon. So the next one is The Gang's All Here by 2D Scientist. Ten out of 10 Fashionscape. This must have been well
Very
prepped
nice.
as well, because they had to have like prepped beforehand on Tour Island and get it all sorted. But where's? Oh, Scooby's at the back. I see him. I was wondering where they are.
I love the flared trousers on Shaggy. It's perfect.
Awesome. The next one is Group Ironman Thieving Pet at level 10, which is, you know, I'm not saying you were spoon fed, but you know, come
Is this Mod
Um,
Zuko or?
on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
really
not
lucky.
jealous at all. And the next one is The Simpsons, UGC Simpsons. So found The Simpsons, I mean Gimpsons on today. So here we go. Some good coordination going on. I'm really, really enjoying it.
That one's probably my favourite one out of the lot.
I tried so hard not to acknowledge the Group Ironman project acronym. I think it's always been GIM internally, right? Sooner or later it was going to crop up.
Of course, of course.
And this got me
and
excited
the-
about like dressing up together and stuff. I can imagine for Halloween we see like groups come in like matching costumes and stuff. That'll be sick.
Yeah, I know.
I do feel like
sure
Bart
it's
is
Iron
slightly
Man.
too ripped it.
Should be a group Ironman fashion contest for Halloween.
Yes.
Ooh,
Please.
that is a good shout. That is a very good shout. I know we've got our capes ready. Like we've all got our capes in our team. We're looking good. We're looking good. The final one is Bad Time to Be a Baker. I know the other JMod team's group storage is full of cakes at the moment. When we was all chatting yesterday, so. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, please continue to share your stuff. If you haven't seen the recent Gazette as well, we are featuring player created content in there, so it is just really nice to be able to share more of your stuff because it is awesome. It's very, very awesome. Cool. And with all those out of the way, I suppose we should get down to some questions. Right, so the first lot of questions are going to be related to bugs. So here's one from Pessimistic. Good name, like it. I'm having trouble creating a group as the game keeps kicking me out. Although this has been acknowledged on the news post, what are you working on to rectify this?
So I'll take this one because I was heavily involved in the creation system itself, and I admit the user flow is a bit awkward because if any one person in the group like starts moving around like crazy when this is going on, it will actually cancel the creation process. And you have to do it again. On launch, we had this issue where like people who interrupted the process in a specific way could get into a really weird state where they couldn't remake the group. So we quickly deployed a fix where, you know, we resolved that. We figured out that you haven't even left the node before, so you should definitely be allowed to make more groups, right? So we've tried to make changes to allow you to at least, you know, if you happen to have issues, you can try to recreate the group, and it should basically just be as if you never failed it at all. But we'll be looking at, and this won't be a hotfix by the way, but we will be looking at just seeing what we can do with the user flow to make it a bit better so that you can't interrupt it as easily. But yeah, for now, tips on like how to make the group if you're struggling. Try to just, once the leader presses confirm, don't click on anything. Just hands off the keyboard, let it happen, let the iron flow through you, be one with the group, and pray to Saradomin that it works out, you know? And if it doesn't, try to relog and see if it works then. And if it doesn't help, if it doesn't work at that point, tag me on Twitter and I'll have a look.
Yes, thank you, Elena. Yeah, we know there's like, you know, try also going to a quieter world, that might help. But yes, stay still as possible when you're making those groups. Do not touch anything. We know this isn't ideal, but it seems to work for players when we was responding on socials. And we will be continuing to investigate the underlying cause of the issue. So we just thank you for your patience as we deal with this. You know, you've been waiting for a long time, so I understand the frustration, but yeah, we will get there. We'll get there. The next question is from Toy. Any news on the fix regarding high scores showing the wrong number of players in a group? 3-player groups showing up as 4-player groups, etc. I'm in a 4-person hardcore group, and we are currently in the 5-man high scores. We have only ever had 4 in the group and are also all still prestige. Could you explain what is happening with this bug and let us know what you're working on to fix it?
Do you want me to take this one? Yeah,
Sure
I'll take it. Yeah, we are aware of this issue. What's important is the state of the group is being sustained, right? So even though you are a 4-person appearing in a 5-person, we know you're a 4-person still. Potentially network things. So someone like multiple times joined the same group and for whatever reason we're handling it multiple times. We are looking at it. I'm confident we can fix it as well. So for now, just keep enjoying the game, keep committing them. I appreciate you can't see obviously the direct ranking differences, but yeah, I think we'll have a fix for this some point in the short term.
As long as the game knows what your size is supposed to be, we will be able to rectify that, I'm pretty sure.
Cool. Thank you, guys. The next question is from Team Acno. Me and my group are a bit confused, so 2 of us were online to make the group initially as a hardcore group, and the 3rd joined later after we had left the island, and it says we lost our hardcore status. And 2 of the members are now normal Ironmen, but my character is still a hardcore. Tried to relog in, but nothing has changed, and we would like to stay as hardcore if we can. Can you explain what's happened and what the team is doing to fix the mismatched issue?
Sure. So, hardcore status. Hardcore status is lost upon inviting someone else to the group. Because there's no telling from the system side of things whether they joined like just after or a month after, you know, like we just have to say that hardcores, they stick together the whole time or they're not hardcores. Now there was a bug that made it so that sometimes people wouldn't be downgraded properly, so some people in the group would be hardcore and the rest wouldn't. That is the hotfix we discussed just earlier, where we've deployed it. We've attempted to see if there's anyone in your group that is not hardcore, then the rest shouldn't be hardcore either. But if you still have mismatching, you know, group settings like that, please do let us know, because we don't want half of the group to be hardcore and the rest not. It's either all or nothing. So keep reporting bugs in game and keep telling us about it if you find them.
Yeah, I don't think we can stress that enough. Just please let us know, because there's not much we can do if you don't let us know. So, and the last bug related question, there might be some more, but in this section, is from Old Reddit Pref account. Is there a solution to being unable to pick up items or light logs? I still have the bug despite the post saying it has been fixed.
I think some item spawns specifically are kind of working like that, because I know we had this issue before where things like a net couldn't be picked up by a group regular Ironman, so there might be more items like that. So if you do find some, let us know and we'll try to fix them.
Yeah, it would be useful to know if it's all items or just certain items.
Awesome, thank you very much, guys. Right, we are going to go on to some other group Ironman related questions. And we've got a question from new account XYZ. Some stats would be cool. Can you share any with us? We can. Mod Ditto has been kind enough and given us some day one stats. So let's take a look. Got some images for some, and I've got some other bonus ones to throw in. But yeah, day one we've had 770,000 chickens killed. We've had over 312,000 cows killed. Cow killer there on the little image, and we've had over 410k goblins killed. So you guys have been putting in the work, and it shows, especially with the next slide, as over 20 million trees have been chopped just over day one. I've got to stress this is just yesterday's stats, by the way, doesn't incorporate anything today. And that's all tree types. Over 5.1 million are just normal trees, and there has been over 16 million fires started, with 2.9 of them being from normal logs. It's crazy. There were so many fires yesterday on the way, especially between Lumbridge and Draenor. Impressive.
It kind of gave me like a throwback vibes to Trailblazer League, like just stepping out in Lumbridge and seeing like the deforestation of Lumbridge behind the castle. There were just everyone were chopping trees. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's really nice to see how many people are sort of in that new phase again. Really nice. Speaking of new phases, quests, Cook's Assistant has been completed by nearly 29, or over 29,000 players. I know I'm one of them. Sea Slug, we've got 11k. Waterfall Quest, you've got just over 7k, and then Dragon Slayer, there's 16 people out there that have done Dragon Slayer already, so very, very impressive. Pure speedrun specialist, I imagine. And apart from that, I've got some bonus stats, which we haven't got an image for, but in terms of pets, we've got Rocky, 101 players having the Rocky pet, we've got 3 players having the Heron pet, 48 players having Beaver, 29 players having the Giant Squirrel, 17 players with one of them getting it twice, having the Phoenix pet. I know Mod Rock himself has got one. Not jealous, again, not jealous. And 3 players having Tiny Temper. Also, as a bonus for you hardcore Ironman out there, 4,129 players lost a total of 5,020 hardcore group Ironman lives yesterday. And even more impressive than that, 6 people lost 5 lives on their own. So, congratulations, you 6. I don't know if you should have been a group hardcore group Ironman.
Yeah, I think at that point you just kick them and make a new group. You know, like it's only been a day.
yeah. I mean, for our group alone, I know that Mod Nin, if we would have been hardcore, he would have cost us those 3 lives very quickly. So, thank you, Nin.
I did see one guy dying to a boar on the node. I'm just hoping it was deliberate and not a real death.
I don't know. I don't know. Looking at these stats, I can't tell, Mac. I really can't tell.
Maybe if they weren't in a group yet, it didn't count, so that's fine. I think. Pretty sure it wouldn't
I think
count.
it's a safe death on the node anyway, just to be kind of nice to people
okay.
there. But
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
we're good.
Maybe we'll remove it for just Halloween. Any groups on there that are created. Cool. Right. I hope you guys enjoyed those stats. We should have some more coming over the next couple of days, so keep an eye on socials for those. The next question we have from Cosmo1. Can you make it so you don't need to all be on at the same time to start a prestige group? Took us 7 hours to work out a time when all 5 of us could be on at the exact same time. Adulting is hard. Preach.
We're unlikely to change that anytime soon. It's quite necessary for us to be able to set all the variables when everyone is there, and if that goes wrong, as you've seen, the group is cancelled, right? So yeah, we're not likely to change that anytime soon, although, like I said before, we will look at the user flow of just trying to make it harder to cancel the creation of the group instead.
Awesome. Thank you, Elena. The next is from James Varga. Is there any restriction on the amount of accounts a single person can control? For example, could someone create a group of 5 accounts and have one main with the rest being dedicated to resource gathering?
There is no restriction. If you want to 5-man your own group, you can do. I'm sure some people already will and already have. I'm looking forward to like that one guy who's got like 5 maxed group Ironmen. They're all his. That'll be cool. But yeah, there's no restrictions. You can do whatever you want.
Be very
Standalone together, alone.
Yeah.
Again, going back to that image, it's just like 5 voices in that man's head. The next question is from Flower Sifter 2 and Trinketti. I'm guessing this is like a combined question. The group storage feels very clunky to use. Do you have any plans on making it a bit smoother? Maybe being able to close the bank from the group section without going back to the personal bank. Maybe you could add a keyboard input for the save button in the group storage interface.
Yeah, I agree. It's not the smoothest interface in the game. It's not as good as using a bank, but it's the way it is due to mainly technical limitations of the engine. There's no real way of getting around that save button we have. As nasty as it is, it kind of needs to be there, and you're going to have to wait for the save to happen. Although that being said, totally open to player suggestions if there's anything you guys can think of to make it a bit smoother. For example, that keyboard shortcut, that could definitely be something we can work into, just iron it out a little bit. Yeah, if you think of anything, keep it coming.
I really like the keyboard inputs. I think that would work really well.
Awesome. Thank you. The next question, I'm not going to pronounce the first bit of that name. I'm just going to call him Giggler. If our hardcore group loses all our lives, do we also immediately lose prestige?
No, you shouldn't.
There you go. Easy peasy.
Pretty much it.
So yeah, just throw your lives away. It's fine. You can keep your prestige. It's the only thing that really matters. The next question is from Jake Izzy. Can we have more group storage slots? I think that's quite a common question.
You totally can. We deliberately left it fairly low. It's currently set at 80. We can give you more if you like. We left it that low so that there was a bit of a wiggle room if we wanted to work in some unlocks, maybe, at certain milestones for your group. If you guys just want it straight up, maybe that's something we can do as well. Maybe it's a thing that we poll.
Remember, we
I
had
think
this.
because it's like a milestone.
Yeah, we had this conversation, Boko, where basically Boko is Engine, and Engine wants to give us as few spaces as possible because they want to send less data across. Meanwhile, we want as much as possible, right? So we had to have this conversation about like, okay, well, what is a good amount, and kind of just haggling back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, items and inventories and storage scares me a lot.
Also,
So I was yeah.
Also worth
be
noting
clear for,
that this
like-
is the first time we do this, right? So
Yeah.
the less space you have, the less room for error. We're totally down to increasing the size in the future.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Also,
it'd be
just
close
try
to,
not
like,
to throw
every
all of your junk
1,000.
in there.
Yeah, it'll be cool if like every 1,000 total level you get like an extra 10 slots. So by the time everyone's maxed, you get an extra 100. That might be a bit too much, but yeah, Joe could work something around it.
We originally were pitching. Well, I was pitching for 40, and then you upped it to 80. So I just said one.
think
Everybody
we
gets
wanted,
one
like-
slot.
It's that ultimate hardcore group Ironman.
I think he muted
My
Elena.
shared storage locked ultimate group Ironman.
Thanks, Bruno. I was gonna say, I think Mod Nin was like, can't we just have 800? And we realized that no, we can't. But
No,
You can't trust Mudmin anyway. He's not used to having a bank as it is, so he'll just see what he just wants it all. Wants it all. I'm just glad Boko's here to back up Engine every time we throw him under the bus now. So it's nice to see him represented.
yeah.
Cool.
Don't be fooled by Nin. He's very crafty. Don't be fooled by Nin.
Not too crafty around those moss giants, though, I must say. The next question is from Ranger Danger 89. Will we be able to change the group name later, like we can change our character names?
you should be able to
think-
already.
I
Via
wasn't
the
sounding
tutor.
at you, Elena. I thought we could already. It is literally. I mean, it's an extension of the clan system, right? So the grouping system that theoretically
Yeah,
does
I don't think
exist.
right now you can change your own name. Because there's no way to change it after you make the group. But maybe if we talk to the tutor, we can figure something out. Because there's already quite a lot of things going on with that tutor, like things like kicking people and changing lead and things like that. So maybe.
Could have sworn we already put that on the tutor. Now I'm really confused. It
I'm
would
pretty sure
only
you can't
work
change names.
as the leader. If you can, then only the leader can. I'll have a look. You guys keep going.
Okay, thank you, Elena. The next question is from Novelty RS. Can you clarify in what situation you'd lose prestige if someone was to crash a kill? Say at Nightmare, do you lose prestige if someone sneaks in at the last second, or is prestige only lost on kill completion?
I know for Nightmare specifically, it's on the kill completion, so no one can enter the Nightmare midway through the kill, only at the start of the kill. So if you notice someone is in your Nightmare room who isn't part of your group, then you have plenty of time to leave before the kill ends, so it should help you there. And also to go back to that last question, yeah, you can change your name, I was just wrong, my bad.
It was a bit like Stranger Danger. If there's someone in your instance that's not in your group, get out of your instance.
There should be plenty of warnings as well. But obviously, like, they might just jump in right at the same time as you. At which point, like, you have plenty of time to leave.
Awesome. I'm glad we cleared up the name change as well. It's good. The next question is from Paschetti. Is Barbarian Assault included in the prestige losing group activities? Since it would require 5 people, that would mean prestige groups under 5 would not be able to complete it. Having a full list of group activities that break your prestige would be much appreciated.
As far as I know at the moment, it's only Chambers of Xeric, Theatre of Blood, and The Nightmare. But do correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's correct. I've had the same question about skilling bosses as well. It doesn't break your prestige. It's just those 3. So we considered it for Barb Assault, but we decided not to because you need 5 people. So what would a 3-man group do, you know? It just doesn't work.
I also saw a question about combat achievements, things like how can a 3-man group do the 5-man speedrun task. Those tasks shouldn't be enabled, so if you're in, for example, a 3-man group, you won't be able to see any 4 or 5-man group tasks for things like raids, so you should be covered there.
Awesome, thank you. The next one is from Spotch. Can you confirm what happens with requirements if we want to add someone new to our group? For example, 3 of us started earlier and 2 more want to join as fresh accounts off the node. Are the new players going to have restrictions, and will they not be able to use the content they haven't done? Example is need 85 Slayer for a whip.
Sorry, I'm just rereading the question, making sure I understand it correctly. Yeah, so if you start early and you invite someone in after creating the initial group, the new people in the group will have those restrictions that we've talked about before. Firstly, your group will not have group prestige. This means that's purely a visual indicator, right? Like, has my group had outside help, yes or no? If you invite new people in, then yes, you've had help. Individual prestige is lost for the people joining in, so the new 2 people, I think you said, right? Yeah, the 2 fresh accounts would not have individual prestige. That means that they would have limitations to how much they can trade with you initially, and they would have limitations as to which items they can equip. So they would require to have 1 KC of every boss that drops the certain item that they're trying to wear. Like, if they want to wear, I don't know, a Bandos chestplate, they need at least 1 Grardor KC. But that would not apply to the rest of the group, like the people who have prestige already.
Awesome. Thank you, Elena. Just want to give a quick shout out to Mod Huskies in the chat, taking questions as they come in, which is thank you, Husky. Appreciate it. The next question is from Britta B25. This is relating to chat channels or groups. Why can we not automatically use clan chat with our group Ironman group unless members or 150 total level? I thought the clan system was necessary for group Ironman to be released. Is it possible that this could be built into the game mode?
I'm trying to understand the question. I don't like we didn't make a chat for group Ironman because there were other things that we'd rather have for a launch, like a shared group storage. So we just simply didn't make it. But that's not to say that we can't have it in the future. We definitely have the baseline for it from clans. Like, we have the infrastructure. We can make it. We just don't have it yet.
Awesome. Thank you. Alex asks, will trading untradables between members really not be a thing ever? At least at the moment, you can't put untradables in the share bank. Is that meant to be like that? I kind of thought you'd be able to do it because you're all functioning as one.
As far as I know, that is how it's going to be forever. You cannot put untradables or anything that you can't stack. So, like the crates from Wintertodd, for example, they're untradable, and they will always be.
Yeah, I mean the name sort of speaks for itself. You know, I feel like that makes it pretty clear that they're untradables, and that's the way it's going to stay.
Yeah, well, so you guys are kind of a group. You still your own accounts, so yeah, the regular account rules will still apply where you can't trade untradeable items.
Cool. AKA Norman asks, please could you consider changing the shop stock spawns? Last night I spent 45 minutes hopping worlds for a steel axe. Today I am hopping worlds for a papyrus because the restock time is 10 minutes per item. I think that the shop stock should be per account on Ironman. We can't buy from other accounts, we can't benefit from overstocking. What do you think?
I don't like Shopscape. I'd like to change it. I'm not sure how we'd change it just yet, but yes, I want to change it. I think we have one job in to have a look at like the worst cases of. Excuse me, my throat is acting up. We have one job in to look at some shops that are particularly bad at the moment, and maybe consider changing it to at least have its own like iron stock, if that makes sense. So it's not shared with mains. Other than that, we would have to majorly rewrite how shops are done, which isn't a trivial task. So yeah, it takes a bit more.
You're scaring me, Elena.
What?
Let's just
Don't you
rewrite
like
all the shops. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be totally fine. What is the worst that can happen?
Inventories.
Don't worry, Buck. I'm sure you and the engine team handle it, no problem. It'll be fine.
Just group Ironman shop equals true. It's not a problem.
I kind of feel the opposite on this. I feel like if it's out of stock, it's out of stock. Go do something else for a bit until it's not out of stock. I don't see any need to change it personally. But...
Yeah, I do think it sucks. I do think it sucks, but I do think it's something to keep in mind that it's only really happening because it literally just came out yesterday. So there's a lot of people trying to buy the same exact things. So it will suck regardless. Whether it might not suck as much because it's your own personal shop, we could change that. But yeah, I think it will always happen, especially with shops and new updates.
I was
I
going
think
to say,
like the easiest thing to do is change the restock rate, right? But that would have to be a cold fix, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember.
When we originally put pickaxes around, so the rune pickaxe, the original one, it was just like everyone was mass hitting the shops, right? And it should, over time, as less people need it, the demand will obviously sustain that. It feels fitting to say, people, can you not panic buy all of these items all the time, please? And then maybe it'll resolve itself out over time.
Yeah, plus this is a longer process, so there are other ways to get like axes, for example. Get your thieving up and go and steal some from the ham members. You can get pickaxes from there as well. Go and do that. Maybe spend time doing
We have plenty of axe stock. It's just not in the right places yet.
Just can't believe you live in the UK and you suggest telling people not to panic buy. Like, there's a mismatch here.
Oh, the times we live in. Thank you guys. The next question is, will there ever be a point where Group Ironman can do Partner Slayer again? This is from Dude Kid.
We don't have a design for it yet. It was removed because it was being abused, and we just haven't come up with a good design for how to fix it yet. If you have a good idea for how to go about it, send us an idea. We're happy to have a look. I think that Partner Slayer is a really good way of doing Slayer. I personally, I'm not one of those people who love Slayer. I like bossing, but just regular tasks, they get boring for me. So if I could do it with someone else, that would make it a lot better, I think.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Like, Slayer's not my favorite thing, so to be able to do it with someone else would be amazing. But yeah, obviously we've got to do it right. But again, if we have, once we're ready and we have designs, if we're bringing it back, then we will share them. So don't worry. But yeah, for now, there's nothing to tell you guys. The next question is from Shin Chan. Kind of a different question. Do some of the mods play Group Ironman with each other or with other players? I mean, I can start. We've got two Actually, there's 3 JMod teams, as far as I'm aware.
Maybe even 4, I think. So
Oh, was there a 4th one? I know there's 2. I know there's. Well, there was when I checked. There was 2 old school teams, and then there was 1 from guys from RuneScape.
actually, I think there might even be 5 or 6. I know for a fact there's at least like 5. Not saying whose group it is, but yeah, basically the answer to the question is yeah, definitely. A lot of us do play the game, and a lot of us are also playing group Ironman with each other.
Yeah,
And
I
so
know there
there was a lot of internal hype for this as well. A lot of internal hype like across everyone. So
We already have like staff high scores for our regular, like main and regular Iron accounts, and we've been discussing like how can we have staff only like group Ironman high scores,
I guess to stretch that out there, we are also like, so I have a tube that is in a group Ironman, but the rest of the team don't realize that I'm a JMod because I can't go around saying I'm a JMod in the game. So I guess maybe others are parts of others, and we're amongst you now. So there may be an imposter player among the team. I don't mean to be hitting these undertone puns.
I love you just outed yourself as an undercover JMod. Like, it's well sus, Boko.
It's pretty sus.
Running in game around as Boko, it's obviously, yeah.
It's true though, you can't tell people. I told one person once, and then later I found that they reported me for JMod impersonation, and I was like, you know what, that's fair. Good on you. Be suspicious, that's good.
No, that's very funny. That's very funny. Yeah, like my main has nothing to do. I don't associate my main with me and Mod Sani. Like my main is completely outside of that, which is nice. It's nice. Cool. The next question is from Declare. Are you still considering any solutions to allow the whole group to benefit from one member's high construction level without them being online? Maybe a workaround could be a flat pack expansion just for group irons, or allowing the use of the clan hall.
I wouldn't mind it for groups, but I would personally be against it for clans. I think player owned houses are already so powerful that if you make it so that literally anyone can just walk into the clan hall and use those things that usually require level 90s in construction to use, I think it'll just make it even more powerful than it already is. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah,
it's a tricky one for sure. I think it's not an easy solution regardless, but one of the easier ones would be to potentially allow players on the same world to enter each other's houses without the owner actually being inside the house. They could be anywhere in the world. As long as they're on the same world, they could enter it. I could see that happening, perhaps. Anything like beyond that would be like a major task to undertake. Like a clan home was quite a big project itself. If we did like a group home or a group house, that would be, quite a big undertaking.
I can hear the worry in Boko's face. I can hear it.
Shop, shared areas, fine. We'll just keep adding them.
Awesome. So yeah, but hopefully we can do something eventually. But yeah, there's nothing right now. The next question is from Flompool. Will you be making it possible to use spells such as potion share, spec transfer, or tele other on teammates?
I know for a fact tell the other definitely works, because I remember finding a bug where you could basically tell the other anyone outside of your group, but if you try to like group teleport to Waterburst, it just wouldn't work with your group, but only people outside your group. So I'm pretty sure it already works. For groups, I don't think you need aid-on for those things to work, because it can only work with the people inside your group anyway. So we've made it so that we left it as it is for regular Ironman, where you can't change your aid, but just allow it so that people in your group let you share things.
We've added some like really obscure interactions with that as well. I think Mod Ash actually added like party crackers, so you can use them on group members and stuff like that. We've basically tried to implement like every sort of weird interaction between group members. So if you find something that you think ought to work and it doesn't, then let us know and we'll think about, changing that.
Yeah, it isn't just about the big things, it's the niche ones as well, just to make your experience as best as possible. So please do let us know. Cool. Super Leon asked, now that Group Ironman is out, are there any plans to have the individual members of the group be shown in a separate category on the leaderboards? Currently, it seems that Group Ironman members are classed as main accounts on the leaderboards. Will there be Group Ironman section for them, or even put them in with normal Ironmen?
Boko.
I
Want
was
to
looking
make
at
some
you
more
for...
high scores?
we did discuss this, didn't we? Because we had the graph that yourself and Husky made for me regarding like the inheritance of the types of Iron Men, etc. And I was sat there like saying, I'm sure there was one like had one life, and if it lost a life, it couldn't log in anymore and things. And Husky was like, no, you're wrong. But yeah, that was like a cognitive decision to be like hardcore that can go into a normal group, then degroup into a normal account, right? That
Yeah.
makes sense to me. So we could segregate, obviously, group Iron Men out.
I think
we could do it.
because currently you have that hierarchy, but you have hardcore group into regular group into main account, right? So what they're asking for is like individual rankings amongst there are other players with the same game mode, essentially. From what I understand, anyway. It would be a brand new high score, I think, so it's not trivial to do either. I would rather finish. Yeah, sorry. You go on.
No, it's okay.
I would rather finish like our existing things that we want to fix with the high scores first, right? We want to show prestige on there, hardcore depths, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's like a subset of the group high scores. But there, yeah, as you said, there are other things I'd be keen to get up on the high scores first as opposed to that.
Cool. Thank you guys. Speaking of hardcore, free-to-play Penpower asked, did you consider any alternative to the 5 life hardcore pool? If so, what were they, and why did you go with the current approach to hardcore groups?
So we had this discussion internally, and then we talked about it with different types of player groups and stuff. We just kind of put it out there, like, before we even confirmed what hardcore group Ironman would look like, people were talking about it, and we were like, oh, theoretically, hypothetically, what if we did hardcore? What would that look like to you? And just kind of gathered opinions. And we saw a wide range in opinions. We saw, like, the more hardcore players who just keep remaking and keep getting to really high levels, and all their game is really just hardcore. They wanted 1 life for the entire group, no exceptions, and just 1 life kicks everyone down. We thought that was a bit brutal, and we decided to go with the, life equal to amount of people instead. Just because, sometimes there are silly things that just kind of ruin the fun for so many people, It could be a disconnection, it could be, just one person not paying attention could lose the whole team many hours. It could be lag, yeah, exactly. It could be many things. So we decided to go with the somewhat nicer approach on that. But part of the reason for it as well is that more areas are dangerous than for regular hardcores, which means that the game mode itself is more difficult. So in return, even if you have more lives, it's still probably a bigger challenge than regular hardcore mode.
On the other hand, I'm very interested in the social aspect of one life, and the person in the team then loses that life. How the team then discusses that.
I also saw suggestions about like you have one life each within the group. You don't have like a shared pool of lives as you do now, but everyone has one life. And if that person loses it, they're kicked out of the group, and the rest go on. That was also a very interesting thought.
Kicked until there's no one left at all. Cool. The next question is from Rickness666. Will we see group storage or something similar for clans now that Group Ironman is out? What features are you looking to add to Group Ironman/clans in the future?
I believe that's the plan. And now that we've got shared storage devved for Group Ironman, it should be a fairly simple thing to add, I think. As for features we want to add, maybe that's something Elena wants to speak to.
I mean, I don't know, to be honest. I would love to do more clan stuff, honestly. Right now, like at this minute, I'm a bit tired of all like the asynchronous requests. For those of you who don't know what that is, that means you do something and you have to wait for the server to respond. That is the loading icon you see like spinning around sometimes. You have to hold the person in place and wait for that to come back with the response. I'm a bit tired of working on stuff that has those kind of dependencies right now. But that said, I do want to see expansions to clans. I do want to see expansions to Group Ironman. For example, the milestone system that Bruno was talking about with increased storage space, for example. That would be sick. I would love to do that. We could do something similar with clans as well. I'm not going to go too much into detail about it, but there was some ideation pitches a while back about stuff we could do with clans as kind of like, not quite group quests, but more like repeatable challenges that the clan can take on together. And I think that sounds super interesting, and I would love to explore that more.
Oh, Boko, you're muted.
Again, muted. Not muted. I was reading the chat and they were saying I was fake smiling whilst Mack was basically saying that the shared storage in clans is not a problem. It is technically there. We kind of engineered and designed it a bit closer to how it works for Group Ironman, right? It's kind of like an ATM where only one person can access it at a time. Obviously, that extrapolated out to like a 200-man clan makes it a little bit more like also like UX wise a little less straightforward and clean. So we might want to rework that as well. Technically it is there, but again it's something we want to do right. So yeah, Mack technically wasn't wrong.
Not wrong, but still makes Boko nervous. The next question is from SlightAd7372. Can you explain the exit and leave process a bit clearer? For example, I started a hardcore group Ironman with a few randoms to get started until my group was able to get online the following day. I'm now awaiting the newly found 7-day exit period. Will I still remain a group Ironman even for a certain amount of time until I can join my planned team? Or is there another thing to occur, such as loss of Group Ironman status and revert to standard Ironman?
So, when that grace period is over, you will be faced with the choice of either remaining a Group Ironman or becoming a main account. If you decide to remain a Group Ironman, you will lose all your tradable items. That is to prevent people from kind of just transferring or trading items over to other groups. Because if you could just leave and then trade whatever you wanted, that wouldn't really be ideal. Kind of goes against the whole Iron Man game mode, right? So we have that restriction in there. You will keep your untradeable stuff, such as like void armor or fire capes or whatever it is that you got that is impossible to trade. Everything else will be white. You will, however, be able to group with your new people. You have to be the leader because you've been in a group before. so you can only group with other new players, but you should be able to just group with them as normal. But you won't be able to be hardcore, and you won't be able to be you won't have group prestige, but you will have individual prestige within that group.
Cool, thank you, Elena. Hopefully that makes things a bit more clear for you. We've only got a couple questions left. Unfortunately, we're not going to have time for the Twitch chat questions, but I'm hoping to get through the next 3, and then do some announcements. So we shall get cracking. Rimwald asks, any way the group storage button can be moved on a bit so it's not blocking the standard bank storage amounts?
Is it blocking them? I feel like we would have noticed if it is, but
no, it is.
Whoops.
I don't know how we did.
In that case, yes, we can. Yeah, we should definitely fix that.
Okay, definitely something to add to the list. Right, thank you, Matt. The next question is from jman6444. How exactly does the shared items work? Will any non-tradables be able to be shared, like barrow gloves from I feel like we've answered this already. It's untradables.
Yeah, we pretty much already answered it. If they're untradeable items for regular accounts, they're untradeable items for group Ironman as well. You can't trade them.
Untradables, please. It's in the name. Alright, okay, the final question then is from Max Presnick. Can we get placeholders in the shared bank and the ability for multiple people to use it at the same time?
I don't know about placeholders, that would be nice, but I imagine multiple people will be a big no because of how we basically have it running, where it has to be synchronized between the person using it and the server. But Boko is our engine guy, so correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong at all. It is by design to minimize risk to item-based transaction stuff. I mean, we could change it. There's a lot of work there. I'm quite happy kind of where it is right now. So, but placeholders I was actually intrigued about because it's technically an inventory, right? So you'd need additional data regarding the placeholders per group Ironman. But
I think we can do placeholders. It was just additional functionality that we didn't think was critical for launch. We can do it down the line. I think, like, this is me going on a little, like, theory, RuneScripty tantrum, but I think they're theoretically objects that you just put into the inventory. But they don't stack, so you put in, like, one, and then in the next one you put in one, and then, yeah.
Cool, awesome. Right, that is all of the time we have for questions. I'm going to quickly run through the announcements again, and then yeah, we will head off. So, of course, Group Ironman has launched. So if you haven't started yet, now is the time to explore Old School's all-new co-op Ironman game mode. Get ready to forge a team of Ironman and become legends. Refresh your knowledge of this brand new, exciting game mode on our Group Ironman blog post with !Group Ironman. And next month comes !Leagues Free. The Shattered Relics poll is now live. Go and cast your votes now. Shattered Relics is set to be the most open and versatile yet. Master the new Relic system, discover different powers, and tailor them to your playstyle. And you can see what rewards are on offer in the poll blog, !Leagues Free. And for those of you wondering about the Deadman rerun, we know you're eager to hear more about our plans for the Deadman Reborn finals. We're still investigating the prospect of a rerun with particular focus on networking and infrastructure reviews. We expect to be able to share more definitive plans by this time next week. And finally, Ironman, by the way, type !merch to take a look at some fantastic new Ironman merch. You can celebrate the release of Group Ironman with these bad boys and show them off to all of your IRL friends. And you can see them all with !merch. There's some nice pins and a jacket in there and a t-shirt. So yeah, go and have a look. thank you all for joining us this week. It's been a pleasure. Thank you to mods, Druid and Light behind the scenes, all the mods in chat, and the wonderful mods Elena, Boko, Bruno, and Mack. Are there any final words from any of you?
Play group Ironman.
Yeah, play group Ironman. Go and do it. Go and do it. Set yourself up a group with some friends or some randoms. Like, do it. It's worth it. Cool. We shall see you next week. See you later, Ghoul.
Oh.
Bye.